Hello, beautiful soul. I definitely did this whole spiel and then looked up and realized that I wasn't recording. But it's already late, so here we go. If you are not already, um, if it feels in alignment, if you are feeling called, I invite you to get elevated with me. um, so, yes, welcome to this installment of Elevated Rambles. I can't remember if I said that again or not. I'm your host, Natalie. Yeah. It's not staying late. um, so I was traveling recently. Went on a family vacation. We went to Italy for a week and a little bit, and then to Lisbon for a day. Yeah, and it was a beautiful trip, you know. It was a lot of us. For me, I think I kind of, in generally, I prefer solo travel, solo exploration. I find there's a lot more freedom in that, a lot more ability to do, different things, a wide variety of things, because, when you travel in a group, you have a lot of different ideas of what to do, and navigating with a lot of people can be tricky sometimes. But despite that, despite that fact, or I guess opinion, it was a beautiful trip, and I enjoyed being there with my family and getting to explore and connect with them, yeah, it was a nice trip. It wasn't like anything that was, over the top. We did get to do a few things, but there was a lot of like chillaxing time as well, which I really appreciated. I enjoyed being able to meditate, to lay in the grass and just kind of soak up that energy of nature, and being able to explore the area around the Airbnb that we were staying in. Um, yeah, it was a really, it was a nice time. I enjoyed it. Um, Something interesting in Italy, like where we were staying. I don't know if it's in the entirety of Italy. I mean, that's kind of the sense I was getting based on what people were saying, but that's just people within my group. I don't know. They might not, be certain, but well, at least in the more country areas, I think in the more touristy parts, you'll find things like open late, but things close so early, and I think it's such a beautiful thing. It kind of is a reflection of how they like the way that they, how they view their time, how they cherish their time, and they recognize that, this kind of hustle and bustle of life, it's not necessary. You can take things easy. And also something else that was brought to my attention, the idea of tipping, you know when they receive tips. Like, yeah, they're grateful, like, thank you, obviously, who doesn't want more money? But it's not necessary there, because the people in the service industry, they receive a full wage, a living wage. So it's not necessary to receive a tip. And, I think that's something here that we should consider, because when you think about what people in the service industry here make before receiving any tips, like, it's kind of ridiculous, wages here in general, the minimum wage, it doesn't reflect the cost of living. If you have a minimum wage job, you do not have a job that will support you and a family in living comfortably, and that's what the minimum wage is supposed to represent. It's the minimum wage that one receives in order to support themselves with the basic necessities: food, shelter, clothing, healthcare. It should be able to cover all of that, Another thing, healthcare, universal healthcare there, I did have to go to the doctor. I was sick for parts of the trip, and at one point I went to the doctor, and I'm not from there, so I don't benefit from their healthcare system, but the cost of what I had to pay without any insurance was far below, because I did go to the emergency room, and I know here, going to the emergency room with insurance, I have $100 copay. There, with no insurance, I paid the same thing, and it's just such a reflection of the care that those in power have for the people, the recognition that all people are worthy of having their basic needs met. Like, that's not a reward. That's not something that we should, like, it's possible for us to agree that everyone deserves to have their basic needs met. Everyone deserves a meal, right? To nourish their bodies. Everyone deserves healthcare, right? We all deserve a chance to live, right? To experience this life healthily, right? We all deserve an education beyond high school. We all deserve that. That's our birthright. By being born, right? You have the right to basic needs. We have the right to have a roof over our heads. We have a right to be safe, right? And that's something that we all are worthy of, that we all deserve, and something that is possible if we all decide to agree on that. And I know the way I say that is a bit, like, we all have to agree on that. And, in life, when it comes to politics, we're not going to agree on everything, right? But this is just the recognition of human beings, the recognition that we're all human, right? And that we have the power. We have the power when we come together. We have the power to ensure that everyone is taken care of. As long as we decide that, we just have to choose that. We just have to choose the fact that everyone is worthy. You are worthy. I am worthy. We are all worthy just by being here, just by existing, right? So Yeah. I just think it's so interesting that that's something that we're arguing about, and I don't stand on either side. When it comes to politics, I am not Republican, I'm not Democrat. I stand with the people, right? I recognize that this power structure that we have is an illusion, and it is meant to separate us, it is meant to divide us. Right? So I don't stand with either of them. I don't stand with any of them. I don't stand with this system. Right? I think it's, yeah. It's just, both sides have a vested interest in us remaining at odds. They both benefit from that, right? Idea of united we stand, divided we fall. That's facts, right? When both sides are trying to win, no one wins. you know? Thought I had some decks nearby, but I guess I didn't. I think sometimes it's important that we try to take a step back from party, from whatever clique or, group or whatever it is, take a step back, step into the self, right? What do you believe, right? Deep in your heart, like truly, what is it that you believe, right? What do you feel? And just think of people. We're all just people, and we've been conditioned to believe all these different things about ourselves, about society, about those people on the other side, right? Yeah. Sometimes you just need to take a step back from all of it and really, truly evaluate, where you are in all of it. How do you feel about all of it? What direction do you really want to go in? What direction do you want us as a collective to go in, right? Where do you want us to be? Do you want us to always be at odds? Do you want there to always be a divide? And the thing is that a big part of why we can't get there is because the way to get there is by facing things that we've already been through, right? Facing things that we are hiding from, facing truths, recognizing truths within ourselves. As we heal as individuals, we have to face certain aspects of ourselves. We have to face our shadow, right? We have to look at those darker parts of ourselves so that we can show those parts of ourselves love and compassion, so that we can heal those parts of ourselves. But we can't heal what we're not looking at, right? If we're not seeing it, we can't work on it, so when we talk about censoring history, I think it's important that we recognize that when we censor our past, when we refuse to look at it and recognize it and acknowledge it, we're choosing not to heal through it. We're choosing to keep that pain and try and hide it and push it down and suppress it. But it doesn't work, right? Because when we suppress things, they start to bubble up and they bleed out in unhealthy ways, right? The only way out is through, right? And it can be scary to face our shadow, especially our collective shadow, right? Because the outside is a reflection of the things that are going on within ourselves, right? But it's okay, right? It's okay for us to face our shadow. It's okay for us to look at those darker parts of ourselves, right? We can't be afraid of that, right? We can't be afraid of accountability. We can't be afraid of recognizing the things within ourselves that we might need to change, right? And know that regardless of what things within yourself you might need to change, regardless of the evolution that might need to take place, know that who you are is absolutely worthy of love, right? Through all of it, right? Just because there are things within our past doesn't mean that there's something wrong with who we are, right? We're human beings. We're learning and we're growing as we go along. That's all we can do, right? We have to allow ourselves, though, to learn, right? Because that's what growth is. It's about learning. That's how we evolve. That's how we move forward, right? If you want to let go of the past, we have to address the things that are keeping us holding on to it, right? We have to acknowledge it. We have to look at it honestly, fully, deeply, completely, right? We really have to take a look at ourselves, each one of us, all sides of us, right? Yeah. It's interesting. I had initially came on to talk about naturism. But perhaps spirit had something else that needed to come through. The universe had a different message in mind, right? Allow yourself to be open to it, right? Regardless of where you stand, which side, you are on. Know that we're all connected, right? In some way, shape, or form, right? We are all going through different things. We are all experiencing life. We're experiencing struggles. We're experiencing obstacles, right? We are all trying our best to navigate this reality with the resources and the knowledge that we have available to us, right? We're all doing the best we can with the level of awareness that we have, right? Oh, I have this little doohickey. Feeling pretty complete. Yes, I hope that you are open to receiving this message that has been passed through. Be open to shifting your perspective, right? Be open to leading with love more, with compassion more, even with those that you disagree with, right? Perhaps especially with those that you disagree with, right? We're all reflections of each other. Allow yourself to find the value and the lesson within each person that you come into contact with, right? Because everyone is bringing you a lesson, right? And yes, some of them are very difficult, but it's a part of this existence, it's a part of this experience, this reality. Allowing ourselves to be open to truly experience all of it, the highs and the lows, I think I might have gone off track there a bit, I'm not sure. But yeah. Yeah. Yep. Seeing if there's anything else that I'd like to come through. Yeah. I believe I am complete now. For reals. Sending so much love and so much gratitude if you made it this far. If you did make it this far, I invite you to leave a comment and let me know. I'm always curious to know, how many people actually make it to the end. I mean, I guess I could look at the analytics to find that out, right? Yeah. I know when I check on Instagram, it's not very many people. I think we kind of are in a time where it's like bite-sized pieces of information that people, are able to take in. But yeah, if you have made it this far, please leave a comment. I really would love to know. But yeah, again, I believe I am complete. Sending so much love, so much gratitude. You are so worthy. Believe that, embody that, live that, breathe that, right? We are all so worthy. All right. Bye.